Hello, everybody, and welcome to another tropical update. Tropical storm Nicholas has developed across the western Gulf of Mexico, and as of 7 p.m. this evening, Sunday evening, has maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour and is moving north at 2 miles per hour. Tropical storm Nicholas is expected to make landfall east of Corpus Christi late Monday night into early Tuesday as a 65-mile-per-hour tropical storm. And we have tropical storm warnings from northeast Mexico all the way to south of Houston, and then a tropical storm watch from south of Houston to west of Port Arthur. So we'll be looking at the spaghetti models to see, in fact, there's actually a hurricane watch between Corpus Christi and Matagorda Bay. So we're going to be looking at spaghetti model guidance for Nicholas, see where exactly it's going to be going. So here are the spaghetti models, and nearly all the spaghetti models take Nicholas across southeastern Texas, and probably about 80% of the models take it directly over Houston or within 20 miles of Houston. So Houston, you're going to have some major impacts from Nicholas, and as well as most of the Texas, southeastern Texas, and unfortunately a lot of Louisiana too. And you're going to see in my rainfall maps, because you guys are getting a ton of rain across these areas. So spaghetti models have it going pretty much across southeast Texas and into western Louisiana and eventually up to Arkansas. So now we're going to look at the infrared satellite. So here is Nichols, and you can see it's still a little disorganized, and the center is kind of right here. So most of the convection is east of the center. And even though that's typical with tropical cyclones, it's more so with this one because, as I'll show you in the next frame, we have some wind shear acting on Nichols, and that's what's going to limit its strength, and that's what's going to likely keep it from becoming a hurricane, is that southwesterly wind shear. So it's blowing all the clouds, it's blowing a bunch of cirrus clouds all the way across eastern half of Texas and Louisiana, Mississippi, and the storms are mostly north and east of the center. And we are going to be looking at why that is the case in a minute. So here's the map of wind shear and a wind shear tendency. And here's Nicholas right smack dab over the west central Gulf. And it's experiencing about 20 to 30 knots of wind shear right now, which is kind of displacing some of the thunderstorms from wrapping around the center to form a more closed-off circulation. And that is what's preventing it from strengthening. And it's going to be paralleling the shear as it moves toward the Texas coast. So it's likely only going to strengthen to a mid-grade tropical storm before making landfall. And especially since it's going to be moving into this area of even higher shear, the upper level winds are not really favorable for rapid strengthening. So only moderate strengthening is expected. But what will help strengthen it are ocean temperatures in the upper 80s, which will act as turbo fuel for this storm. However, the wind shear is going to likely inhibit it, as storms may struggle to congeal around the center. But we're going to be looking at the biggest threat, and that's going to be the rainfall. So here's the 1 to 5 day quantitative precipitation forecast from the National Weather Service. And as you can see, the entire portion of southeastern Texas and much of central and southern Louisiana are covered in these reds, these oranges, and even these yellows. So these red areas are anywhere between 3 and 5 inches of rain. And that goes for places like New Orleans, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, areas that already got 16 or 8 to 15 inches of rain from Hurricane Ida. So it's just going to exacerbate flooding concerns over this area. Meanwhile, up toward Alexandria, Louisiana, 5 to 7 inches of rain is going to be possible with Tropical Storm Nichols. And then Shreveport, 1 to 3 inches. But what I'm really most concerned about is the Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Houston area. These yellows, you're looking anywhere between 7 and 20 inches of rain, falling mostly within 2 days. And that could cause some major flooding across the Houston area, the Beaumont, and the Port Arthur area, as well as the Lake Charles area. So if you are anywhere in the Houston, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Lake Charles, or any of the towns, any of the suburbs, you want to pay very close attention to Nichols and very close attention to your local stations, as they'll be providing constant updates for his rain area. But wherever the 7 to 20 inch rain bullseye is, there's a major flooding. And I'm particularly worried about Houston, Beaumont, and Port Arthur. Meanwhile, areas like College Station are going to see 1 to 3 inches. Corpus Christi, 3 to 5 inches. Brownsville, 3 to 4 inches. And then as you go further west toward the dry side, Austin's going to see like a half an inch to an inch. And San Antonio is going to see about an inch of rain. So areas like Austin and San Antonio should be okay from the heavy rain threat, as the models have it going east of there. But Houston and areas of southeast Texas are under a big threat for catastrophic, life-threatening flooding. So anyway, thanks for watching my tropical update, and be prepared for major amounts of rain. And you guys have a wonderful evening.